welcome to the Big Train Baseball Network. We've got Game 2 of the Cal Ripken Senior League Semifinals. Big Train lead 1-0. It's going to be a very, very fun matchup here in Regency Furniture Stadium. I'm Carson Cass, joined by Zach Lewis on my left, and got a pretty interesting matchup here today as dealing with a bit of a new booth here, and a bit of a new thing is missing a little bit of your forehead there, but Jack Sam's going to be the starting pitcher on the mound, so we get very quickly into this one. Thank you very much for joining us today, and take a quick look at the defensive lineup here for this Big Train side to join Sam's, which you can see has a pretty good season so far, right here. So, yeah.
Yeah, Sam's here has been a really good pitcher for the Big Train, hoping that he can bring in this second game stretch. If the Big Train win this one, they are done until they see their opponent that they will face only in Metro South County, facing down in Metro South County as well today. So big opportunity there for the Big Train to do what they need to do in order to bring this win home.
We'll be right back very quickly to deal with some technical issues on the Big Train Baseball Network. Hello and welcome to the Cal Ripken Senior League Collegiate Baseball League Semifinals. We have got the Big Train taking on the Senators here at Regency Furniture Stadium, home of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Talk a little bit more about that one very quickly, but it's Will Pettis on the mound for the Southern Maryland Senators side. Pettis going to be leading a team trying to find their way back after a pretty rough start to the semifinal game. Went down pretty big fashion last night. We'll see what he can do as Pettis, the lefty out of Georgia State. Pretty good regular season, 7-6 on the games in starts department, as well as 34 innings. He's got a 4.76 ERA. That one missing a little bit outside. TJ Gramesty is going to be the leadoff man tonight.
TJ will bring that spark in the starting portion lineup, which he's done in several of the games so far, including last night. That one, I believe, struck his jersey a little bit, and so he will walk in his first appearance.
Hit by pitch, they'll talk about it very briefly. Don't mind the window opening.
We're in a different stadium today as we are at the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Stadium.
Getting our writers to help open the window. We can't see anything, for the record. That's Sean McAvoy on screen, and that should hopefully hold up for a little while. We'll see. And you know what? No, the window isn't opening at all today. So we'll just make do with what we've got on the Big Train Baseball Network. So next arm up will be Brendan Wright, the left-handed hitter all-star. Thank you very much to the writer Sean McAvoy appearing on screen very briefly there to try and get this window open, but it'll be as open as we need it to be. He'll be sitting writing. You can check out their sources and their recap of the game on the Big Train Baseball Network. That's bigtrain.org. His ground ball right side. Gramesty makes it to second, and a great play by Cole Rame. Get the man over there at first as we start our game at Regency Furniture Stadium, the home of the Senators' playoff games this season. They will try and hope there's more than two here. They did get one against the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts, but no else. Emilio Gonzalez, the left-handed all-star bat, big power hitter. As he takes a strike, big swing at that one and did not get any part of it. Did bounce off of the knee pad of the catcher Anderson. Pettis delivers, and that one's a little bit low and outside. So the big train last night, pretty good win over that side of the Senators, powered by Charlie Hoagland, who went 6 innings scoreless. No earned runs against the big train this season in the playoffs, in that one measly game. But that 6-2 win was a lot more dominant on the pitching side. Tying run did come to the plate a few times for the Senators with bases loaded, but Hoagland was able to stave guys off when they were up 4-0, and same with Aiden Parker, the reliever, who had a fantastic outing.
As you mentioned, pitching was huge for the big train last night. Hoagland had a very good start to that game there, and was also able to come in Aiden Parker, and as you mentioned, deliver in several clutch scenarios. As you mentioned, having lots of traffic on the pads in the later innings, but managing that really well.
So 1-2, a runner on second as Gonzalez lays off that one. Pettis struggling, hit the zone early. He didn't hit TJ Gramesty to lead things off. Hard guy to deal with, especially noting that Gramesty did not get caught into a double play ball. That right had hit pretty well. He leads the league in double plays. Did not get the runner out of scoring position for Gonzalez, though. Is a big swing and a miss on the 1-2. Can't find the fastball, and Gonzalez down swinging.
Well, unfortunate there for Gonzalez, who we know is definitely going to swing and swing big. Not able to make any contact with that one.
So that will bring up Zach Malvazio. Big power bat, led the Cal Ripken Senior League in homers this season. Hits this one in the air to right, coming in on it. And that will be the third out of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second on the Big Train Baseball Network very briefly. As 4 up, 3 down. So Chase Fulford will be the man to the plate as they lead off on their side quickly through their lineup. Chase Fulford will be trailed by Lehman, Cole Rame, with Zach Anderson behind him. As Sam's going to prime for the first pitch there. There's Kyla Wynn with Ethan Adams. Bryce Palms, the left fielder today, in replacement of Yenli Nolasco. That is the only lineup change, with Jack Ewert tailing the lineup in center field as that one missed inside. good heater as Fulford, who leads this league in stolen bases, was caught stealing last night. Got put into a pickle by Charlie Hoagland, the pitcher. Has ground ball up the right side, and it's going to get past Brennan Wright. A base hit to lead things off, and the Senators have one on early.
Well, it's exactly how the Senators need to start this game if they're going to have any shot at a comeback in this series. They're going to need hitting and hitting quickly. Sam's didn't have his best start against the DC Grays last Monday, so he is still looking to find his rhythm.
He gave up 6 earned runs in just 2 innings. It's that fastball that is very good, but against higher caliber hitters, like the ones the Senators and the Grays have in the lineups, it's going to be very difficult to get them by high, and that is kind of primarily where those fastballs would lead. Gets all the way up to 94 for the Kentucky right-handed arm. Fulford on first. Sams will pick off back. That brings up the second man in the lineup, James Lehman. Pretty good night tonight. Last night was 1 for 3 with 2 hit-by pitches. As he hacks at one there, fouls it backwards, and quickly into an 0-2 count. So Sams, with a runner on first, trying to get rid of the second man here, Lehman. Pitch missing a little inside, as count now rolls to 1-2 from the miss there. Lehman playing first tonight like he did last night. Xavier commit as this one's fouled backwards. Good fastball there. Sam's put that high and outside, but cannot tempt Lehman. So 1-2 count. Still fighting with nobody gone in this bottom half of the first inning for the Kentucky arm. Sams is a little bit low. That off speed doesn't really have a breaking ball, but Sams' off speed has done him well in terms of pitch speed. That's really the only facet of the way he pitches this season. Right-handed arm has been very good when he's gotten the fastball going, but if he can't hit the zone, it's going to be a rough day. Senators looking to try and break that for this Big Train lineup, which does lead the league offensively. Most categories. Closely behind Olney, who did take a 1-0 lead over Metro South County at their place yesterday.
Metro South County will not be a team that goes down quietly. Just like the Senators here, these will be very tough games as the 2 Southern Division teams are down in the series already.
Skies this one backwards again, and count still 2-2. Runner goes as this one skied in the air center field. Fulford's a little late to go back, but Will Hack, the center fielder tonight, will not try anything there. We'll go through the defensive lineup after the second batter here for these Big Train. Going to be interesting to see. We've got TJ Gramesty at center, not Will Hack, because he is playing in left. Right field tonight will be Zachary Malvazio. Making up the corners will be Emilio Gonzalez, paired with Logan Panette. Up the middle, Cal Johnson will be out of the DH spot and playing with Brennan Wright, as he plays shortstop right at second for typical, as Jack Gay going to make up this full battery. As Fulford on first, Cole Rame up, trying to drive his teammate in as the first one misses low and away from Sams. Sams a early difficulties trying to find the strike zone on that off speed. That one missing just a little low and away. Again. Rehm yesterday was all over the fastball, which is why you're not going to see it thrown too much to him. Was 3 for 4 with a walk. Very disciplined as he's quickly into that 2-0 count. Strike called on that outside corner. Sams delivers and half swing didn't go. Runner goes and Fulford finally stolen base number 28 on the year. First of the playoffs, and he's 1 for 2 total on these base paths in the postseason. Sams into that 3-1 count, trying not to walk Rehm, and that one's sauced down the line, foul. Will not make it in as well hit, but just can't get that fastball in.
Sams, as mentioned, just maybe cautious of putting too many in the zone. These Senators team hits pretty well top to bottom, and so they'll definitely make you pay, and they want to swing when it's in the zone. So being a little cautious in his pitching so far, Sams.
Full count, got him looking, the low strike, and fastball froze him at the knees. Cole Rehm down, looking, first strikeout of the entire playoffs for him, as it'll bring up next man through, Jackson Hayes. We talked about those strikeouts in the first game, how important it was to see. Sam's a pretty big strikeout threat. Sam's very good this season. You can see his stats there briefly with that 20 strikeout mark. Delivering first pitch outside on that breaking ball to Jackson Hayes. Hayes yesterday not too productive. 0 for 4 with a walk. Up the middle, and right will collect. He will have the third out of the inning as he throws it to first, and that will do it. Well, to the top of the second, Big Train lead this series 1-0. And this game drawn it even here at Furniture Regency. Welcome back to Game 2 of the Cal Ripken Senior League Semifinals between the 2-seeded Big Train and the 3-seeded Senators here at Regency Furniture Stadium, home of the Maryland Blue Crabs. But Logan Panett to lead things off now.
Panett been very good. Mentioned took a brief break due to illness. Has been on fire since then.
This one's fouled backwards towards us. Going to get into that lower portion of play, and Lehman's able to get there for the first out. So first pitch pop-up, and the can of corn collected by their side. Brings up the switch-hitting Cal Johnson.
Cal Johnson, a very important piece of this big train team, able to deliver hits on days you think that the team is just not able to find them in any sort of places. He does that quite often.
First pitch missing a little low to Johnson. He's batting righty for the left-handed Pettis. First time he's batted righty fairly often. Big Train don't see a lot of lefty starters. Actually, last time they did was against the Senators. As ground ball left side collected by Hayes. Throw to first, and it's in time. Some good plays from Hayes to Lehman last night. Another good one there. We actually are seeing a weird matchup today where both teams are wearing black jerseys. Big Train are wearing gray pants is the only real difference.
What happens is the Senators play in a black, maybe you would describe it as very dark gray as their home kit, and Big Train having a black away, so
after the Johnson ground out to third, it'll be Kieran Coleman. Coleman last night was in the field. Today he'll be DHing. That one in there for strike two. 0-2 count very quickly. Or excuse me, strike one. 1-1 count very quickly. Pettis a 4.76 ERA during the regular season, a 1.68 whip. 34 strikeouts as he's got him into a 1-2 count here. Pettis. Ground ball up the middle. He collects the comebacker, and it'll be a very quick, efficient inning for the Senators side. Still nothing after 3 frames. We head to the bottom of the second, all drawn even. Through this Big Train lineup, which you saw, they're on the offensive side right now, but it's Gramesty, Wright, Gonzalez, Malvazio, Panette, Johnson, Coleman, and Hack with Gagan. That has been the lineup that they have really chosen here early. It's kind of been, we want to choose these guys, we want these guys to be, or think these guys are our best chance at winning via the hit and middle infield injuries as well. So interesting to see that. They are on the defensive side, and that can be difficult with both teams wearing black jerseys tonight. The Big Train wearing high socks. That's a way you can determine it. Also, it's the bottom half of this inning, which means the Big Train are going to be in the field. As that one caught him. A hit by pitch, something that we saw a lot of yesterday. plaguing early as Anderson is struck in the second.
Well, you mentioned yesterday the scoring started after player for the Big Train was brought home on a hit by pitch. The second round of scoring also started with a hit by pitch, so it can be disastrous. The Big Train have used it to their advantage yesterday. Southern Maryland looking to use their blueprint and do that tonight.
Creates a kerfuffle on the base paths as Kylo Wynn, the right fielder, out of Florida Atlantic. Pretty big sports day today, the Brickyard 400, as a big swing and a miss. That's Carson Hocevar on pole for that race today. Fellow Carson doing good things in sports as that one, strike one to Lewin. That one popped up, ending up in foul territory. So a quick 0-2 hole with a runner on first. The Brickyard 400 is actually almost over. Who knows? Timing. We're focused on baseball here as that one's fouled backwards. Lewin a survival swing. Wearing working gloves. Looks like construction gloves from the likes of Lewin as Sam's operating with more traffic on the Beltway. Runner on first again. Another leadoff man as quickly back into a 1-2 count. Lewin a good layoff of a fastball that kind of just ended up a little bit in the other's batter's box for the lefty Lewin. This one skied in the air in center field. Gramesty coming in on it. Calls for it, and that's out number one. Well-placed fastball. That's going to be the name of the game tonight for Sams. If he can keep the fastballs either too high to hit or too low to drive, his fielders can make a really good day for him or really bad, depending on if they can keep themselves out of trouble. Runner at first. Sams just has to make sure he gives them the type of pitches and the type of contact, keeps it in the yard and is playable. It'll be Kylo Wynn going down for Ethan Adams, the designated hitter out of Georgia State. One of 3 Georgia State pitchers on this roster. Yesterday, 2 of them hit with Adams and Yenli Nolasco. Adams, Georgia State, went to a Georgia high school by way of Anchorage. As here's a double play ball. Johnson, 6-4-3. Gonzalez able to get there on first base for out number 3. Good job by the Big Train, and they get a double play to end this half of the inning. We'll head to the top of the third, still drawn zeros. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. It's the Cal Ripken Senior League Semifinals here. 1-0 lead for Bethesda. They're wearing the black jerseys tonight, as well as the Senators. However, it is the top half of this now third inning, which will give way to the bats of Bethesda. Will Hack, his first plate appearance tonight.
Well, it's a playoffs occasion. Once again, the defenses for both teams have stepped up to the occasion. Last night, it took a while for either team to break the deadlock. The Big Train did it first. Have that opportunity now in top of the third to do it first again.
Ground ball left side. Picked up by the catcher Anderson, but he overran it. A base hit on a essentially bunt there. Bat was still kind of moving, but a good job by Hack using his speed to his talent. And very quickly, your base runner on to lead off the third inning.
Swinging bunt there that went pretty much nowhere as it goes straight down into the dirt and just rolls out. The catcher and the pitcher there for the Senators caught in two minds of who was going to collect that one, and no one ending up to the ball in time to get the out at first. So a base runner now for the Big Train.
First hit of the ball game for Bethesda. Jack Gagan showing bunt, pulls it back. Runners at the corners. Lehman going to get a pick-back attempt from the catcher Anderson, but that was unsuccessful. Gagan showing bunt again. He gets this one down directly up the middle, collected by Pettis. Throw to first is in time. Sacrifice bunt just as ordered. No extra theatrics. We've seen Gagan get on to first and others in those situations, but this time just a runner at second as he advances. Hack
doing a good job to advance. Kind of interesting call to go bunt there, as still a lot of outs in this inning.
Well, with no outs, you give Gramesty, who's been slugging a lot more, the chance to try and drive one. As now you have one on second base. Fouled backwards into the netting from Gramesty, homered in the season finale.
Gramesty, as you mentioned, his bat has been heating up as of late. Hit a home run against Olney at their field in the last game of the regular season.
That one missing a little bit low. Anderson keeps it in front of him to stop Hack from advancing. It's a 1-1 count. One gone. As this one skied in the air to right field, coming in on it is Lewin. He gets there. Hack will try and extend it to third. Throw is way off the mark. Beat Hack by a mile, but it's about 90 degrees outside. So third base for Hack, a runner in the finest of scoring positions for the All-Star Brennan Wright.
It's really great positioning, as you said, for Will Hack, who's got himself around the bases now. Just needs one more to open this scoring at Regency Furniture Stadium, home of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Playing into game tonight. It's a home game for the Southern Maryland Senators.
Patrick Mahomes Sr. played here for a singular season. As that first pitch in there for a strike. Right. Grounded out to the right side his last appearance. Hence the name, but it is funny that he's a left-handed pull hitter and hits the ball often to the right side of the infield and outfield. No homers this season, but another All-Star appearance. 44-game on-base streak this season was a Cal Ripken Senior League record. Good breaking ball, but just misses the zone. Pettis unsure where that ended up. Pettis, a left-hander, going to Georgia State out of Roswell, Georgia. As ground ball right side again. Won't get that runner home as the play is made at first. So Big Train leave a runner on third. It's the furthest one has gotten all day. Defense showing out here again in back-to-back matchups. We'll see if it continues with that thread here. on the Big Train Baseball Network. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Bryce Palms, who actually had 5 innings actually, last night of shutout ball, now playing left today. Two-way player will have the opportunity to make this difference tonight with the bat, as his team could not come up with enough runs. So screw it, I'll do it myself today, as that first pitch missing. Second one a little bit low again, and quickly a 2-0 hole for Sams.
The defense has been solid behind Sams tonight. As we mentioned, the Senators able to find that fastball a couple of times, make some contact, but nothing too significant damage so far.
3-0 count as Palms lays off another tough fastball from Sams. 3-0 pitch misses, and it's a 4-pitch base on balls. Palms will have himself over at first. As looked like Sams was kind of unable to get it over the zone there. Talked about these control issues and how badly Sams can be struck by them if something goes off the rails. Happened in D.C. Don't want to see it happen tonight if you're Bethesda. Man on first again with nobody gone, as the first pitch in there, a strike to Jack Ewart. Yesterday, Ewart 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, both of them coming against Aiden Parker.
Ewart had some good athletic plays in the field as well. Had a diving catch to save and out yesterday.
Yeah, a bit of a web gem in center field at the tail end of this lineup. Definitely makes a huge impact for the Senators with his glove when he can't with his bat. As he saws this one off backwards, will churn out foul. Home of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs tonight. Talked about that a bit, but the Senators played their home season games at North Point High School, which the outfield, for a team that had a lot of home runs this year, is about 50 feet inward than this ballpark in center. It's 350 to center, 410. Or 400 regular, straight away at the batter's eye. So it's a lot different. Last time they were here, a 3-1 ball game against the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts in the last playoff matchup they played here.
Well, it's certainly going to be difficult to hit a home run here in Park, but a couple guys on both teams who could potentially have that kind of power.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Half swing, and he struck him out. Jack Ewart. Not the kind of A-plus swing there. Tried to maybe survive on it, but pulled back just a little too late. And a strikeout goes to his tally as Chase Fulford comes back up.
Strikeouts obviously going to be crucial for Sams. Good combination of pitches for him there.
So it's a best of 3 in this series. Same the championship will be, but in the semifinals. Game 2. Big Train win tonight. Senators are done. Got the back against the wall here. Runner on first as that first pitch in the other batter's box for ball 1. Broken bat up in the air on the infield. Can of corn collected by Cal Johnson.
Bat splinters there, keeps everyone honest. Runner stays at first, and Big Train 1 out away from continuing this scoreless game.
So a leadoff man in every single inning, followed by the next 3 retired in the first 2. Trying to keep that streak alive here for James Lehman. Trying to break it against Sam's pickoff attempt from righty on the mound, but Palmer's back. We talk a lot about just how important that fastball is going to be for Sam's. It rides in the 90s. Very tough to hit when it's up in the zone, but we know that this Senators team really can get a handle of those kind of pitches and can really take a game whenever. Scored 18 unanswered in 2 innings. Last time we were at an away game against the Senators was not at this field, of course.
No, at North Point High School. Ended up losing 18-9 of 12 hits from the Senators. It was a game with a very interesting inning of combination of some rough pitching and defensive mistakes for the Big Train.
That one missed a little bit inside, 2-0 count. We'll get rid of that ball as Sam's not too happy with it. Big Train on the away side tonight. That's the first base dugout. Two outs. Lehman trying to drive in the first runs for the Senators. For anybody as well tonight, as that one misses outside. Through this season, we've seen Lehman have some power, but he does have a lot of slug. The 264 average, a 387 slug, an 8 double total, a single triple, and a single RBI. He's brought home 21 runs. Trying to get a little more as that one strike called on the 3-0.
Good pitch there, and Sam's happy to have that one back.
Half swing, and it just turns out as a survival. Now a 3-2 count. Survival for Sam's, to be clear, from the walk. As now we'll have a payoff pitch. Did not have one until the 7th inning last night. As we saw how efficient at-bats were going. Though for the side of the Senators, it just tended to be hits given up. And for the Big Train, it was weaker contact. They were able to churn out. Hoagland only 3 strikeouts last night, but he pitched a great outing. 6 innings. No earned runs, but Lehman tattoos this one. Graham Misty back. Only a few steps. He gets out number 3. A man stranded at first. And the Big Train keep it scoreless as now we head to the top of the 4th inning. Semifinals. Still 1-0 Big Train in the series. Senators trying to battle back here at Regency Furniture. Cal Ripken Senior League Semifinals. Emilio Gonzalez in the top of the fourth inning as we have drawn no runs from either side in Game 2. Here at Regency Furniture Stadium, Gonzalez turns on one down the line and right. Going to be a tough run for Lewin. He won't get there. Digging for second, Gonzalez will have a standing double to lead off the fourth.
Big Train finding a little bit more in this one. It's a great swing from Gonzalez that gets down in right. Hitting, starting off pretty well for the Big Train. Just need to put together some more hits in a row.
So back-to-back nights with a extra base hit. A double was the first hit for the Big Train yesterday. As that one really interesting. Maybe would have gotten out in Bethesda, but a much bigger ballpark at the Indy Stadium of the Atlantic League's Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, who are hosting our ball game tonight, as that one's fouled backwards by Zach Malvazio, league leader in homers. Destroyed a ball in the second to last game of the year.
Malvazio, always a man you don't want to throw a goof pitch to. Make sure that you're on your A game and he's up to bat.
Malvazio pretty well struck into left. Palms, who does not play left field often, is able to get there. Kind of skedaddled to his right for it, as wasn't quite sure where it would end up, but he does get there for the first out of the inning. On the liner, well struck. Malvazio puts that in the gap. That's probably a triple for Malvazio, who's just so tall that he kind of has some underrated speed.
Yeah, it's a really quick guy, and that's kind of where we see some of the differences for this Big Train. They can do a lot of damage on the base pads with their speed. Malvazio, Gramisty, Cal Johnson, all with really good legs on the bags.
Big swing and a miss from Logan Panett. Count goes 1-1. Top of the fourth here, runner on second by way of a double. Panett trying to drive some more runs in. This season was very good. The games he played in, missed some time to illness. Is that one a bit low in the dirt from Will Pettis. Georgia left-hander. It's not pitched against the Big Train in July this season. Was the pitcher in a 3-1 defeat of Bethesda at home as Panett fouls one off his foot. He's okay on the ricochet, and 2-2 count quickly. Skied in the air left field, and a line drive is caught. Well played by Fulford to rob Panett of a hit there.
It's good reach from him. Good defense behind the pitching, as we mentioned, for the Senators. Important in creating the outs on the less than ideal contact. Still been very solid contact even on some of these outs. It's a good hit from Panett. It's a good play on that ball.
Yeah, you talk about just kind of baseball is a game of you can lose an at-bat in which you don't give up a hit, and you can win an at-bat, which you do. As Cal Johnson grounds one to the left side, collected by Fulford, fired to first, and the threat is dealt with. Another runner in scoring position stranded by the likes of the Senators. Led to the bottom of the fourth, still scoreless, as these two teams a real pitcher's duel on the Big Train Baseball Network. Welcome back to Waldorf, Maryland, where neither side has been able to draw any kind of offense here. Big Train fighting a pretty tough defensive, I'd say pitcher's duel kind of, but it is the kind of pitcher's duel I can really appreciate with two guys who've been fantastic ground ballers tonight. Pettis a single strikeout on the day. For the side of Sam's only 2. So 3 strikeouts all day. Is that one missing for ball 1?
Well, you mentioned it's maybe less of exclusively a pitching duel and more of a defense duel, as these are both pitchers that are kind of pitching to contact, but their defense has been up to the challenge today and performed really well from both sides.
2 runners stranded by the Senators today. 4 for the Big Train. 3 for the Big Train, 5 total. Is this one hit in the air to right by Rame? Can't be collected by Malvasio in time. It'll drop in front of him for a base hit. And another leadoff man, as has been the case in every single inning for the likes of the Senators.
Senators would love to capitalize on, as you mentioned, one of several leadoff hits. Senators are the ones who are going to feel a little bit desperate for this lead, especially as it gets late in the game quickly. Not quite in that territory yet, but if it gets late and still scoreless or at least a close game, they're going to feel anxious, because if they lose this one, that's it. Their season's over.
Sam's is a pitch-to-contact type of guy, heavily relying on a fastball, and, well, it is really hard to hit because it does get up into the mid-90s. It's kind of just, can you find a way to keep the offense moving and keep runs coming across? Pettis having a good day for himself as well, a 4.76 ERA with a 1.9 whip. He has had an uncharacteristic day in the way they are hoping, as pitch delivered from Sam. It's a high fastball again, and, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd maybe start getting some chaos going on the base paths if I was the Senators. Try and keep them off balance. Sam has been dealing well with runners in scoring position, runners on, but can he deal with runners in scoring position? And if you want to make him make a mistake, make it more painful. If a single could score a run, as they do just that, runner goes, Rame to second, throw a little bit away on the shortstop side, as they do just that.
Advanced the runner really well there. Stolen base from the Senators. They put a man in scoring position. They would love to be the ones to break the deadlock and score for first.
So no outs, 1-2 count for Jackson Hayes. Third baseman, watch one outside. Count goes to 2-2. Hayes, during the regular season, had a 789 OPS, drove in 26 runs. Not driven up a run in the playoffs yet, so he's hoping to get 27 on the year first in postseason competition, as that one ends up foul. First year Senator here, as he played his last season at Yale for the Bulldogs. That one ending up foul. It ends up kind of towards that other side. And Big Train dugout side. There's no netting back there. Not like the MLB where they have netting down the line. As swinging bunt does not end up fair.
A little less protection for these coaches and players down there, and making sure they keep a heads up.
Sitting in that spot on the side where they have kind of the, I guess where you're literally facing home plate and you're on the foul side, that is very brave. I could not do that. I could not stomach the fact that I might just get drilled by an 100-mile-per-hour line drive. But you know what? There are braver fans here in this ballpark than me, and they are braving the storm. Sam's 2-2, grounded forward, but it ends up foul first. So 4 straight foul balls, as Jackson Hayes doing a pretty good job to keep fighting here after a tough day yesterday, where he did at least earn a walk, but 0 for 4 otherwise. Also scored. Hoping he will score here, because that will mean it'll at least be 2 runs. 2-2. Outside, and Sam's starting to miss more with that fastball as we get into the later half here, but he's been really efficient. Pitch count not too big of a worry in their starting arm for Bethesda, who's at 42 total pitches.
It is a good luxury when your game goes quickly, so your starter is able to give you so many innings on so little pitches. We'll see just how long Big Train coaching staff leave Sam's in this one, especially depending on how the game is going and how likely a game tomorrow seems.
So, excuse me, that was 42 prior to the at-bat, or prior to the foul ball. It's now 46, and only 26 of them have been strikes, so a little over half, but not the ideal kind of pounding the zone archetype you're hoping from a man going for contact here. Just over 50% on the marker. That's a walk administered to Hayes. 2 on, nobody gone quickly. Zach Anderson, who was struck by a pitch in his first at-bat and was 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk coming up. Anderson making up the battery with the Georgia State arm as thinking about laying down a bunt. It goes the side of third base, and having to cover his right. He plays a pretty good first base there. Out number 1, a sacrifice bunt, and the runners are moved further into scoring position.
Well, the bunt does its job there and moves guys over on the pads for the Senators. It's definitely jam work now for Sam's.
I really like that call for a team that's not going to have a lot of slug today. Just based on the fact that it is very hard to hit a ball out here for a professional player, let alone a lot of these college sophomores, who is the majority average age of this league. That one fouled back towards the netting.
And that's no disrespect to the players in this league, but
not at all.
Absolutely is going to be a very difficult to get the ball down in territory or get it out over the fence.
Extra base hits, maybe a little bit easier if you do hit one pretty far. Some playing a little bit in, though. Gramesty should have full range in center field there. He's farther in than, say, a Southern Maryland Blue Crab would play center field, but that is the nature of the game with guys who are not used to hitting with wood bats in the first place, as that 2 quick pitches, now the 0-2. Ground ball right side, collected by right. A runner will score with only a singular out. They get him at first. And the first plated run tonight for the likes of the Senators. Sacrifice bunt does its job, getting the runner to third, and they have themselves the first run of this ball game.
Senators open up the scoring here. Very important for them as they need to push this game, the series, to a third game. Start out and break the deadlock.
Good job by Kyla Wynn there. He drives home the likes of Cole Rame, who led this inning off with a single. A stolen base helped him over, as well as a sacrifice bunt. Ethan Adams will now try and drive in Jackson Hayes. First pitch unable to find the strike zone. 1-0 count. Sam's delivers, and again low. Missed inside again, and quickly a 3-0 count. Sam's struggling with some control here. Had a very hot start in the first 3 innings with runners in scoring position, but his luck has not been the same. Talking about needing to draw contact, he's not given up a ball in play since the sacrifice bunt and the single, as that one in there for a strike on the 3-0. Ethan Adams last night had himself a single, but otherwise, after that first plate appearance single, his bat was pretty quiet as fastball in the zone, 3-1. He can't catch any of it. Count goes full.
Yeah.
3-2, and a swing and a miss. Cut him down on the payoff pitch, and runners stranded at third. 1-0 lead for the Senators, though, as Kyla Wynn, the right fielder, is able to drive one home on a fielder's choice. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. A pitcher's duel. No longer drew even, but still some great arms on the mound as we head to the bottom. So it's Kieran Coleman to lead things off here in the top of the 5th inning. Big Train now a deficit of 1-0. They drew first yesterday. We'll talk about yesterday's game a bit more in detail and the bottom of the 5th. But Coleman thinking about a bunt. Strike one called as Pettis finds the zone. Pretty good day for Pettis so far. He's only given up 2 hits in this entire night.
Coleman coming in tonight as the DH. Instead of playing shortstop, Cal Johnson moves to that spot. One of the only changes to the lineup. Pretty similar team to who we saw playing in that win 6-2 last night.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see for Coleman, who has not played the DH much this season. Strike called on the first pitch, a similar one there, but he lays off, gets a 2-1 count. Coleman last night, 2 walks and a single and a 1-for-2 effort as that one finds the zone. Two lined up the middle, and it gets down for a base hit. So struck out a lot in college. Since here, he's been fantastic with 2 outs. Drives one up the middle and gets a lead runner again for Bethesda, the 3rd time in the game that has occurred.
Apart from one strange game for Coleman, had no issue with strikeouts, as you mentioned, has hit very well, definitely earning his designating hitting spot tonight.
So in the 5th inning, that is the 4th time Bethesda has had a leadoff runner. The leadoff man get on. We talk about the dreaded leadoff runner. Every single inning on both frames, except the bottom of the 2nd, the first man up has gotten on. So 9 tries at it. If you are leading off an inning, you are 8 for 9 tonight. Bit odd there as a runner on first base.
Definitely
That's
not.
what Big Train profit off of it.
Definitely not typical of what you see when you're moving through outs quickly in a game, that runners are getting on to start early, and that's been the case tonight. But as you mentioned, except for one time, they've jogged back to the dugout without getting around the bases.
Pettis pitch count only at 46, similar to the other side as Will Hack goes down in 3 pitches. Swung at the 2nd and 3rd, and that'll be out number 1 on the strikeout.
A tougher Hack there. Hasn't seen himself in recent weeks too many times in the batting lineup. Coming in a lot as a courtesy runner for Jack Gagan when he's catching. Has not given him a lot of opportunity to build momentum behind the plate, and so struggling a little bit.
Brings up Jack Gagan. He is 0 for 1 with the sacrifice bunt that did get the runner over, but he was not able to be driven in, as Big Train know the bats are going to be a little bit hard to come by, and extra base hits, especially ones over the wall, will be even rarer here at Regency Furniture Field. Pettis delivers outside. Talk about walks and how important they are for Bethesda's offense. You just need to pound the zone if you're playing Bethesda. That's kind of the biggest thing. If you strike the zone, you are going to be very good against the offense, as they have not walked anybody in 4 pitches. They did strike TJ Gramesty on the inside, and I guess technically ball 4, which would have been, but it did catch the jersey on the leadoff man Gramesty.
You mentioned that strike zone really important, and if you do throw those strikes, the Big Train will swing at them, and lots of times they'll make either soft contact or they'll miss their timing.
Gagan hits one well down the line. It'll end up pretty foul into the playground in right. Nobody playing on it today. There is not a lot of people in the ballpark because they haven't opted to open it. There was a car time attack trial. I don't really know what to refer to it as going on outside earlier. Looked like some kind of course set up with cones they were driving through. Student Formula does something like that, very similar at Michigan, which is the engineering effort by students across the country to build formula cars in the mini kind of side and race them in a time attack format. As this one up the middle, perfect double play ball. Fulford would take it himself for 2 outs, and the Senators more defensive, stalwart play. On the 3-2, he grounds out 2 outs on the perfect ball from Fulford. We'll be right back at the bottom of the 5th. Senators cruising defensively, but need more offense to try and get away from Bethesda. Welcome back to Bethesda. Yesterday, pretty interesting matchup, kind of similar to this. Not to this point. There were 6 runs scored in the 4th and 5th by Bethesda. But, Zach, we saw a lot of pitching differences with Conlon Taylor versus Charlie Hoagland.
Yeah, I think that starting pitcher was the key difference in that game. Taylor gave up 3 earned runs in his 3 innings pitch. Hoagland went for 6 innings, didn't give up a single earned run. So that really did become the key difference in that game, and see how this pitcher's duel ends up tonight.
1-1 count there as Palms, who was able to walk in the 3rd inning, misses a fastball. Big swing and a miss again, and that same fastball in the other batter's box. Palms was pretty disciplined in his first debut with a 4-pitch walk. This time, though, can't seem to find anything, as I think I just heard TJ Gramsty cough in the outfield very loudly.
We're pretty far from the stadium, from the field here, and still able to pick that up.
It was really loud. It's a fun part about summer baseball, as sometimes the stadiums are a little more empty than they would be days than others, and you can just hear anything going on. It's quite entertaining. There's more to baseball than just baseball. Pitch clock violation. No time called. As the count now goes still at 1-2. Sims this season on the mound in his 5th inning of work. We talked about how good he was. 3.6 ERA. He only gave up runs in 2 games out of the 6 he pitched in, and a big curveball there. Palms down swinging. Yelling back and forth between Palms and Sam. Sam's a very, very illustrated pitcher who will let anybody know that he is the man on the mound. Having a great night tonight with only a single run given. Another strikeout there.
Well, as you mentioned, Sam's carries kind of an air about him on the mound, and sometimes that can be a little bit intimidating as a batter if you get up and you can feel the confidence of your pitcher. It makes you feel a little less confident in the box, and Sam's, with that combined with his speed, kind of uses that velocity intimidation factor against a lot of batters, kind of leaves them just standing a little shell-shocked for a minute.
4th K on the day. He struck out the last 2 batters, as they were both pitchers, Ethan Adams and Bryce Palms. Adams to end the 4th, respectively. As Jack Ewert takes strike 1. This one fouled backwards and quickly into an 0-2 count. Game of baseball speeding up has been interesting to watch, especially here with the likes of the pitch clock introduced here. It is on all levels of the NCAA now as well, so these guys are working without a visual pitch clock this season. Most ballparks have a visual one. As miss on the outside, Sam's 3 straight fastballs there.
Kind of forces you to train that internal clock a little better than you would normally, so an opportunity for pitchers to really get a feeling for their own rhythm and timing.
1-2 and 3 Ks in a row. Sam's has found his rhythm with that off speed. Kind of drops a little bit out of the hands of Ewert, and 2 outs in this 5th inning. Excuse me. There. Bit of a technical issue as that one misses outside. Chase Fulford. Now, 1 for 2 tonight. Had a pretty well-struck ball in the 3rd, but back-to-back nights he's had a ball he's barreled where the bat just breaks, and happened to him, making him 1 for 2 as that one in there. Count now 1-1 with 2 outs. Sky in the air to right side, and chasing after it is Malvazio. Ends up foul, smashes into the fence right there, and will be just a survival swing. Run scored in the last inning by the likes of the Senators. Kyla Wynn was responsible, the right fielder, as they go for more balls here. True dugout situation for these sides here at Regency Furniture Field. It'll be the last time the Senators will play here if they can't get out of the series, whether they lose tonight or tomorrow. If they win, they will have the same situation where Game 2 in the finals would be here. It's a real shame because it's a very fun field to be at. Even AC Booth tonight as this one skied in the air to right. Malvazio settling under it. There's out number 3. So Sam's 3 up, 3 down. First time tonight he's done it. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. 1-0 lead for the Senators as Bethesda trying to fight their way back in the top of the 6th. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. TJ Gramesty going to be the leadoff man tonight, as well as the leadoff man here in the top of the 6th inning. Scoreless ball game. We're an hour and 15 minutes into it, as we are now in the final third of it. Has been a real pitcher's duel. Well, the final half of it, I guess there is still 4 innings to play, as we're in the top of the 6th. Zach made a good correction there. He's currently coughing. Ground ball left side, picked up by the shortstop. And Gramesty just barely got beat by the throw. Scoreless ball game until the fourth, where a Senators run came across. Leadoff out there is the second time tonight by the Big Train. They have not had a leadoff runner on, and the third time overall the leadoff runner has not been on. So leadoff men now 8 and 11. Ground ball up the middle. Comebacker collected by Pettis on the first pitch. Out number 2 in 3 pitches. Staying efficient. We've had a weird tendency for guys who have, in fairness, the ERA in the league very high, but guys have been going deep into games this season. Already 2 arms. Elliott and I believe 1 for the Crop Dusters went 8 innings each. Not against each other, as the Braves, did it against the Giants. That pitch missing high. Elliott did it last night against the Braves.
Well, it's a lot easier to last far into these innings when you're able to not only get out quickly, but from some soft contact, so not even having to take it all the way to strikeouts, not even needing full counts in order to get these outs, and really makes the pitchers can go so much further in these games.
So 2-0 count quickly to Emilio Gonzalez. He doubled his last time up. Big Train hoping for some power out of him as that one weakly hit down the right side line foul.
We already saw his power a little bit tonight. Had a very good stand-up double with a slap shot into right. He will look to replicate that here as he wants to carry all the way into this fence that's a little further away than he's used to in the other stadiums, including home at Shirley Povich.
Pitch missed a little low. So ball 3. That one misses a little bit more outside than that last one. Gonzalez will draw a walk. He'll be the first base runner in the 6th.
Good patience there from Gonzalez as he knows that pitchers are going to be careful what they throw to him, and kind of setting himself as power hitter early in this one, and not really seeing anything he liked, and not able to find the zone there for the Southern Maryland pitchers.
Lavazio backwards on the first swing. Quick 0-1 count. It's 1-0 in the game, as well as a 1-0 lead for Bethesda. 1-0 Senators in this ball game to keep themselves alive if this result holds. Big Train have them on the ropes. Game 3, if necessary, will be tomorrow at Shirley Povich Field at 7 p.m. If you'd like tickets for that ball game, it's Go Big Train on the Instagrams and bigtrain.org, bigtrain.org. Purchase tickets for that ball game if tomorrow or Tuesday, if should they advance. You want to see some playoff action as the winner of Olney and Metro South County will be the other side's championship team should Bethesda win tonight or tomorrow. Won yesterday's game 6-2. Good effort by Hoagland. All runs came in the 4th and 5th. We're past that point now as count goes to 2-2 on the foul ball.
Kind of an interesting situation. The only way for Tuesday to be a home game for the Big Train was for them to win this series, obviously, and then the Crop Dusters to lose their 1-0 lead in their series against Metro South County in order for Metro South County to advance as the 4 seed and Bethesda as the 2 seed. They will then host 2 potential home playoff games as they'll host the first and potential third of the finals.
Metro South County down 1-0 to Olney in that series. Malvazio fouls this one back. That ball game has not started, still an hour from it, as Game 2 will take place at South County High School in Virginia.
Well, at the rate of this game is going, we might be all the way finished by the time they even start tonight.
Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes. We're in the top half of the 6th inning as Malvazio down the line, off the glove, into the outfield of Hayes. So a bit of a misplay there in the hot corner. That one getting into the outfield. We'll see what that gets ruled out as officially. But for now, runners on first and second for Bethesda. The most they have had in one inning all night.
Well, Bethesda don't want this series to go to another game, and if they need that, they're going to have to find hitting and be effective when they do have runners in scoring position. It's, as you mentioned, been a rare sight to see multiple guys on the bases for the big train tonight, and so looking to capitalize on their opportunity.
Had a feeling that was going to be ruled an E5, and it was. Just out of the glove of Hayes there. It fully went in, and he just couldn't close it. Wrist too fast for his hand muscles. As Panette, ground ball left side, Fulford bobbles to second. He's got the third out regardless, as Malvazio can't get there in time. So the threat dealt with by the Senators. Pettis now through 6 scoreless as we head to the bottom half of this frame on the Big Train Baseball Network. 1-0 Senators. So Kyle Hopper on the mound, number 35 for the Big Train. Arm out of Jacksonville, Orlando, Florida native. 22 innings for Jacksonville last season, as well as a pretty good showing for Bethesda. 3.93 ERA, mostly out of the pen. His last 2 appearances have been starts. He's been good in those. But a 2.03 BAA against. However, he does give up the long ball quite a bit for this season as he faces number 4, James Lehman, to lead off the 6th.
Struck out 20 batters as well this season. Hopper has come in a lot of good moments. He said finding a couple more starts near the end of the season as well. So
pitch missed on the outside part of the plate. Hopper, first season with Bethesda, started his year off in dazzling fashion where he closed 4 innings, scoreless against only, before being ejected. For Hopper, it's pretty interesting. He's a very animated guy on the mound, but off the field, he is very kind as that one pops out of the glove on the throw back. 1-2 count. Lehman can't keep up with his fastball.
Pretty sure, Carson, this season there were more games against the only crop dusters for the Big Train that resulted in somebody getting ejected than not.
That is true, A, and there was more ejections in all of those games combined, or any 2 of those games combined, that had an ejection, than any other team. It's like entire total the entire season. Is that one in the air to left? It's going to get down foul. There was more ejections between the crop dusters and Big Train than there was among all of the other 6 teams in all of their other games. That is because a lot of the time there would just be 2 players ejected, where if you have 2 players ejected in the Cal Ripken Collegiate Baseball League, your manager automatically as well will get ejected. That is a college rule that is old, has since been diminished at the NCAA level, I believe, in the early 2000s, but sticking around here, trying to reward teams for keeping their players on the field. As the 1-2 lined into center, Gramesty will settle under it. Without number 1.
Still a lot left to play in this series, but the Big Train are able to come up with a second win in either today or tomorrow. They will likely face the Crop Dusters, who are up 1-0 on their series, and so mentioned plenty of ejections, plenty of excitement, and championship series between those teams that I think these teams would love to face each other. Obviously, each team feels like they have something to prove against the other squad, and can be a good rivalry matchup in the finals for the Cal Ripken Senior League.
Cole Rame, who walks up to Down Under by Men at Work. Very good song. Quite the tune. 0-1 to him as that first pitch in there. Hopper trying to pound the zone tonight. He talked about that's his mentality. As that one skied in the air to right. Out number 2, efficient early. We can imagine that since the Big Train bullpen has been kind of depleted this season, we're going to see them try and go for contact first over anything else. Hopper, a bit of an above-average strikeout rate with Ks per 9 between the 9.4 and 9.5 range. He's going to just try and pitch for contact, keep going, keep efficient. But the Big Train need to score a run here.
Absolutely do, and pitching will play a role in keeping this one as close as possible. Not very many times that the Big Train have been held scoreless in a game.
Jackson Hayes flies this one on the infield over to Gonzalez, and that's out number 3. 5-pitch inning. We'll be right back in the top of the 7th as Big Train look to try and find a run here. 1-0 Senators deadlocked in a pitcher's duel. So Cal Johnson will lead off. Switch hitting bat will have his opportunities again at the left side as Pettis, now in his 7th inning of work. So the Big Train have not been shut out all season, nor has a pitcher gone through more than 6 innings against them this year.
Would be quite the feat for the Senators to keep the Big Train scoreless in this game, and this inning alone, the Big Train probably sensing they need to come up with some sort of solution quickly and hoping that it can be sooner rather than later, as they don't want to leave this one to late to be decided.
So Pettis entering this inning with a 69 pitch count. Now 71 on that miss. 1-1 count to Cal Johnson. Johnson today has got himself a 0-for-2 night. Only 2 plate appearances in the 7th inning. Not something we're too used to from a potent Bethesda offense. That one missing. Or excuse me, in there. Strike 2. Trying to avoid their only shutout of the year. It'd be a bad time to have to face it in Game 2 of a best-of-3 series. Senators need a win tonight to keep their season alive as they try and put the Big Train back on the ropes themselves. Tomorrow it's Shirley Povich. We need to win tonight to get there. Tattooed into left by Johnson. Palms, he goes left, then right. Able to get there in time as the native pitcher makes a good play out there.
It's always an interesting situation in a game when it sets up that it's an elimination game for one team but not the other. Kind of see one team that has maybe just a little more fight in them in the game as the stakes are just a little bit higher for them. If the Senators don't win this, they go home, and the Big Train still would have one opportunity on Monday to win this series. Senators definitely showing that fight, especially from the defensive side, making a lot of great plays, being really disciplined in the field.
So that's the first out there as the first pitch missing to Kieran Coleman. Next man in the lineup. Coleman is 1 for 2 on the night. A lot of ground balls. He was a ground out victim in his first appearance in the second to end that second inning. Missing again, 2-0 count for Coleman. Pettis has not given more than one walk tonight and has only fallen behind 2-0 one other point, as that one is fouled backwards, or towards the right side, check that. 2-1 count, 1 out. Talk about walking being Bethesda's kind of key to win. Have not had more than one. That did, however, come in the 6th inning, with the only inning where they had themselves 2 base runners. Has been just a silent night. You'll be able to see on the broadcast in left field at the top of the right side of that big left field wall. That is Patrick Mahomes Sr.'s retired jersey. Played a season here for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Father of Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, of course.
Cool here to be at a stadium that has a lot of history and prowess. Southern Maryland boasts it as the only stadium with the only place to watch pro sports in Southern Maryland.
Well, the argument I guess you could be made is that if you were to watch a Nationals game from across the street, because they're right on the border of D.C. now, is that not then watching professional baseball in Southern Maryland?
I mean, I guess if you were standing in Maryland, the ballpark is within the D.C. district.
If you had binoculars.
You could do that.
I don't know. That one, a miss, as hypotheticals aside, a walk for Kieran Coleman. A very real offensive chance now for the Bethesda.
Well, we mentioned...
Apologize, the retired number over there is Stan Claiborne, a coach. But Patrick Mahomes Sr. did play here. Big swing and a miss from Hack.
Not totally making things up here, are we, Carson?
No. Took a picture of it earlier and just straight up misread it. Missaid it, at least. Pat Mahomes Sr. or low 20s, so I figured 16 was close enough, I guess, in my head. Ground ball left side. Double play ball over to second. They get one. Rame makes the smart decision to hold the second, and one singular out. They are able to get Coleman as Hack reaches on a fielder's choice.
Defense just continuing to make the safe plays, and it's proven to be the right situation in a lot of these plays.
Cliburn, who, this is credit to Sean McAvoy, was a minor league manager. He actually is the Chicago Dogs manager of the American Association. They play in Rosemont, Illinois, which is just outside the city of Chicago at Impact Field. I've been there quite a bit. Hit in the air to left from Gagan. Palms in, and that's out number 3. Another chance stranded. How about that for Will Pettis? He is absolutely on fire. The Southpaw through 7 scoreless. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. 1-0 lead for the Senators. Pitching coming in clutch with the season on the line. Hello and welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. It's the bottom of the 7th. Senators have relied on 7 scoreless so far from Will Pettis. He has struck out 2 only, but a ground ball masterclass, as he's only pitched 84. Could go out for another inning, we'll see. Bullpen not active yet for the Senators, as Hopper in his second inning of work, and this one hit well into left field. Back for Zach Anderson at the wall. It is gone! A solo shot for the catcher. It's 2-0 Senators back against the wall. They keep fighting.
Senators with a shot in an historic ballpark here in Southern Maryland. Incredible moment for them as they are doing their part to stay alive in the series. The lead stretches to 2 runs now with a solo shot.
The Binghamton Bearcat. A destruction of a ball, their home run celebration. They have... There's some object that they just kissed. That was the home run celebration. It has some sort of Post-it note on it that might be some kind of... I think they have a fish. They have a dugout fish named Bubbles. That's a pretty incredible thing. That's new. So Zach Anderson goes deep to left over the bright blue or dark blue left field wall and kisses the fish Bubbles. That's pretty interesting section. That's a new one. You love to see home run celebrations. I'm actually in pure shock. Kyle Hopper, 5 home runs now given up on the season. That leads any pitcher in combined regular season and playoff ball, as he does kind of just leave one right over the middle, and Zach Anderson tattoos it. Kyla Wynn now up 0 for 2, but an RBI to his total was the other run now in the 2-0 lead for the Senators.
Well, lots of teams, especially on the college level, have some dugout celebration traditions, a chain, or a BYU Cougars have a oversized hat that a home run hitter gets to wear. So exciting to hear that the Southern Maryland Senators have their own tradition.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool, I would say. You don't often get, a home run celebration as unique as that, too. I don't think I've ever heard of a live animal. I really can't think of a single time. And no, that's the first anyway. Kyla Wynn quickly into the 3-2 count. He's worked his way full against Hopper, who has not been as efficient. Scott in the air, center field. Gramesty coming in on it. A diving play. Saving a hit there as Gramesty gets out number 1 for Bethesda.
That's a great play from Gramesty. Reads it super well, and with more room to cover here, makes the play.
Person asking in chat, by the way, if you're looking for information, you can send it to Zach's personal email. Get into the booth. I'm Carson Cass with Zach Lewis. Have a lot of viewers here tonight. We really appreciate you guys checking in for the semifinals. 2-0 lead for the Senators. They fight with their back against the wall. Bethesda, a great game last night. Great pitching performance from the starter today and yesterday, but Hopper unfortunately giving up a home run there. If you're the side of Bethesda, unfortunate, but to the side of Southern Maryland, who I know we have some viewers here for tonight, keeping it neutral for that. 0-2. Swinging a foul ball downwards by Ethan Adams. He is 0 for 2 tonight in this series. He has gone a total of 1 for 6. 0-2. Big swing and a miss. Make that 1 for 7 with 4 strikeouts and another one on his tally. Adams unable to find anything there. The pitcher DHing has been a bit cold on fastballs outside specifically. The pitcher he struck out on every single time. Ground ball left side off the bat of Bryce Palms. Panett to first. So a solo shot given up by Kyle Hopper, but clean on the tally otherwise as Kyla Wynn, Ethan Adams, and Palms go down. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. 2-0, the lead for the Senators as we head to the top of the 8th. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. It's Will Pettis on the mound for his 8th inning of work. Already 2 starters this season have gone 8 innings, both of them in the playoffs and both of them playing in the semifinals. Elliott, the crop duster, playing the crop dusters. I believe he will have a start tonight or game 3. I have to imagine you're going to need a full 5 days after 8 innings of work. He will get it after a pretty good season so far. Elliott trailed and ended up getting a win for his team as the first pitch missing to Gramesty. 1-0 count. Pettis at 84 pitches before this. Up the middle, and a diving play from Ewert. Back-to-back nights with a huge diving grab. Out number 1 acquired, and the bullpen can keep warming up without threat of taking Pettis out yet. 86 pitches is tally.
Well, it's some more robbery for the Big Train as the defense for the Senators making all the big plays. I mentioned Pettis' night. It's pretty uncommon that you have over 7 innings pitches with no earned runs and only 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. So it's been definitely a team defensive effort tonight. Pettis delivers to the bunt that's fouled up.
And caught by Anderson. Tough play as they try and lay down a bunt, catch the Senators sleeping. Instead, they're wide awake for out number 2.
That's an unfortunate contact on the bunt where you just get too far underneath the ball and it really just goes straight up there for Brennan Wright. Not how he wants to give up what are now pretty precious outs. Only 4 left if the Big Train don't find any answers.
Gonzalez, who's been a big bat tonight, 1 for 2 with a walk and a double. Needs somebody to try and get something going off of Pettis. 2 outs quickly. I mean, if he's under 90 pitches, which I think this will be the pitch that puts him over. I don't know what we're going to see if Pettis, likely I think his day ends, but they've stopped warming anybody up in the bullpen. They may just try. Give him the complete game would be the first of the season. Complete game shutout would be the goal he's hoping for, as half swing from Gonzalez did not go. 2-1 count.
Would be a great appearance to show college coaches alike.
Half swing down the line, swinging bunt. Gonzalez caught it first. 3 outs. Pettis threw 8. He is rolling. These Big Train came to Furniture Regency Stadium trying to find a way to eliminate the Senators, and they have given them nothing on the offensive side. Only 1 inning with 2 base runners, nobody on there. We'll head to the top of the 9th. Big Train will try and keep them at 2 for the bottom of the 8th. They'll keep them at 2 for the top of the 9th. So we'll get some more fun facts in here as we head to the top of the 9th next inning. That's a crucial one, but for now, the Senators try and add on. There's been some interesting things happen at this stadium in the history. Mid-Atlantic Classic happened as the Cal Ripken Senior Collegiate League defeated the Valley League in 2009. We saw earlier this season that game happen. Valley League did win 11-4, I believe it was. But also a soccer matchup, which I'll let you talk about because you're the soccer guy.
Well, Crystal Palace, a well-known Premier League London-based team,
played here against an affiliate. Some teams actually from England have English kind of affiliate programs here in the U.S., and they played one of those teams in the outfield of this stadium. So not something you see very often, especially in this part of the country. So a really cool opportunity to host a English Premier League side here at the Blue Crab Stadium.
Ewart fouls that one back 0-2. Crystal Palace Baltimore was in the old USL second division. A lot of different London clubs and Premier League clubs bringing teams over basically to sponsor them and try and grow soccer in the United States following the early 2000s World Cup that saw, I believe, some stars come to America and then Beckham eventually there. But obviously, interesting sport in its own right that deserves its own time. 1-2, fouled into the right side, but Ewart had that great play in the 8th to steal a hit, from the likes of TJ Gramesty, who in his own right did the same thing to Kyla Wynn in the 7th. They played out of Towson, which was not Baltimore, but I guess the closest college to Baltimore, unless count UMBC, because that's kind of in it. Foul backwards, and a 1-2 count still against Ewart. Pettis on the other side has been rolling tonight. 8 innings scoreless, nobody up in the pen. They'll try and give him the complete game shutout. They'll try to also give him a bigger pillow as Ewart singles into center. It's his first hit of the entire ball game. And the first hit that has not been a home run since the 4th.
Well, the pitching is kind of flip-flopped tonight. Last night, the Big Train pitchers, Hoagland and Parker, were very, very effective. Hoagland in his 6 innings did not give up an earned run, give up a couple of hits, but nothing significant. And Pettis doing the long damage for the Senators tonight, and Big Train giving up a lot more contact, a lot more base runners, and that has resulted in the Senators' 2-0 lead.
So I believe the Tampa Bay Rowdies right now, by the way, for the USL Championship. I have to get through this as we talk about Hopper on the mound right now. There's some kind of meeting going on. I believe this is a offensive mound visit with the whole offense kind of bunching up on that left side. The Tampa Bay Rowdies, who currently are first in the USL Championship. This is a tweet from them that Sean McAvoy found. Crystal Palace Baltimore did not bring any subs for this game, and their head coach, Jim Chernisky, will be playing the midfield.
That's incredible.
That's an incredible thing to even read the tweet about. So a lot of history in this ballpark tonight as the Big Train try and pull their way back down 2-0. It's been a really interesting kind of game. No cacophony of errors or any kind of the sorts. Both teams playing an excellent ball game, but Pettis on the mound has just been a little better. They will try and give him a complete game shutout. Nobody up in the pen. They're trusting their guys, the Senators, letting one man be the kind of speaker of the mound tonight.
Both teams throwing to contact. It's just a matter of exactly what kind of soft contact you're giving up. Big Train pitchers have been able to throw mostly to soft contact, but have given up a couple over more of the center of the zone.
Runner goes. They got him! Ewart caught by Jack Kagan, his second caught stealing of the season. No better time than this to try and make sure that pillow is only 2 runs for their arm.
It is a Big Train team that has lots of dynamic bats. A 2-run lead is never safe against this team, and it's going to be important that they keep it as such if they want a chance in the top of the 9th.
So foul downwards, 0-2 count quickly for the leadoff man, Chase Fulford. He led off the game and got himself a single. Bat's been quiet since, 2 flyouts. Ground ball right side, swinging bunt that ends up a little hard, and it gets over the glove of Gonzalez. Takes a weird bounce, kind of shoots up his arm, and curious whether that'll be deemed an error or a base hit. I think it'll go down as E3. Kind of a difficult bounce on the lip.
Strange play there. Ball takes a weird hop. Gonzalez not able to collect the out there.
They'll be thankful now for that caught stealing by Jack Gagan behind the dish. What a throw. And think about what a situation it would be had that not come. It's likely runners on the corners with nobody gone. if that play is not made. Instead, one runner on first for James Lehman. 0 for 3 tonight.
Well, Gagan stealing TJ Gramsci's MO there as the man who can fish out those caught stealings. As you mentioned, a really good throw.
It's right on the money. 0-1 from Hopper. Kyle Hopper coming into this game now through 2.1 innings after that out. Strike on the outside corner. Gave up a solo shot to start the 7th inning, but since have kept bats quiet. Allowed 2 hits, 2 innings, 0.1 innings pitched and a strikeout. Jack Sam's starter, 2 hits, singular earned run, 2 walks, and 5 Ks was a good day for him. But just not good enough if they're dealing Pettis, who will go for a complete game shutout in the top of the 9th, unless their side is already warmed up and in the other side, waiting in the dugout. He's gone through 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. A ground ball perfection performance. 1-2, and no pitch. See what was called. Looks like it was just a regular time call.
Yeah, not sure exactly. It's for the batter. Maybe just asking for an extra second.
I don't believe he was set. So they have to call time there as he doesn't come set. Which does give too big of an advantage to the pitcher to start that ball. So 1 out, runner on first. 1-2 count. Bottom of the 8th is Hopper back to first. 2-0 cushion. They're trying to build on here for the Senators. Ground ball right side, well struck. Not hard enough for a double play, but they get out number 2 over there at first. Good play by Brennan Wright to level Lehman.
The first runner is pretty much on second already by the time the ball is collected. So, as you mentioned, no play for the double, but it does get the leading off man out there.
Fulford, who has officially scored on an E3 at second, he leads the league in stolen bases. It's not absurd to imagine that he is quite fast, as he led this season with 27 during the regular season. Oh, 1 count now with 2 gone, a runner on second. Hopper delivers. Just a little bit low to the batter, Cole Rain. Scored already today. He was the only run that did not come across via the solo shot. 1 for 3. Strikeout to his tally. He was the first strikeout victim of Jack Sams. 0-1. Or 1-1, excuse me, now turning to 2-1 as that one misses outside.
Hopper needing to find some more control in the zone and try and find the outside corners.
Ground ball, and it gets out of the glove of Johnson. It pops up into the air, and runners at the corners. Difficult, and Fulford certainly helped make it so. Kind of went through his legs. He was running from second. Made sure to try and get it through his legs to make it very difficult for Johnson. As it gets past the leg, he loses sight of it. Kind of had a perfect setup, but didn't really know when the ball was going to come to him, and pops out of his glove. So Johnson, his second error of the entire season, coming bottom 8. In a difficult play, 2 straight errors now in this inning for a Bethesda squad, which has been so solid defensively, and a wicked time for this to come at.
Fulford crafty running there. He rounded third and thought about seeing if he could take it all the way home. I like to just make the safe call there at third.
So runners at the corners. 1 and 3 for Hopper, who tries to keep them at 2. It is definitely an attainable lead, but still a difficult one to try and fight back against for Bethesda in this top half of the ninth, but Jackson Hayes will try and reap the rewards of the 2 errors. Has 2 unearned runs sitting at the first and third if Hopper were to let them home. Strike called. 0-1 count.
Well, every year going into the playoffs, if you're the team that has lots of championships, you have kind of a target on your back. The Big Train definitely have that, and Senators sensing an opportunity to be in the championship series and not have to face the Big Train even would be a really cool opportunity for them. And they want to see and give themselves a chance at the Cal Ripken Senior League title.
1-1. Sawed off backwards and a 1-2 count. Senators have had a very good game defensively. Only a singular error for the entire squad. Really helped Pettis keep things alive for them this season. They're down 1-0 in the series as the 1-2 gets right by him. A great slider from Hopper. And he did not know the count in the box, but strikeout nonetheless as Jackson Hayes' second strikeout of the series. We'll be right back, top of the ninth. It'll be Will Pettis on for the complete game shutout, potentially, or will they go to the bullpen with a high pitch count? We'll see. Trying to slam the door is the Southern Maryland side. So it's a fantastic Will Pettis start. He does a great job. He wills the Senators here to a 2-0 lead. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 walks, and really got his team into it with 2 strikeouts. Tons of weak contact against the 30 batters he faced. But can they sit down 3 more? Ryan Conrad, the Balasinwood, Pennsylvania native out of Villanova, he will have a shot to try and shut the door on the Big Train and keep their season alive here in Southern Maryland.
Villanova man Conrad, this will be his 8th appearance with the Senators this season. 15.2 innings pitched, an ERA of 4.02, whip 1.60, 4 earned runs and 5 strikeouts. So hasn't seen a whole lot of traffic so far this season, but pretty good return from him. We'll look to grab the close here as run total is only 2 for the Senators, only a 2-0 lead. Big Train have not been shut out in a single game yet this season. This would be the first if they're not able to bring anything through here.
It was a fielder's choice by Kylo Wynn that brought in a run. 1-0 there in the 7th. A solo shot made it 2-0, courtesy of Zach Anderson. He'll man the battery for the final inning with Ryan Conrad. Home run leader, Zach Malvazio. He will come up to be the first batter to go. 0 for 3 tonight. Going to need a big swing out of him to put him back into this one. And I think if you want to see a guy like Malvazio at any point in an inning, you want to see him lead off because then he can only put 1 run up against you if he gets hold of 1.
Yeah, it's a favorable spot there for the Senators as they will look to try and eliminate him quickly.
Quickly into that 0-2 hole on the swing and miss. Here comes Conrad. A bit of an interesting wind-up. Starts over the head and gets fully into the motion as that one outside. Breaking pitch trying to get the 0-2 waste pitch to be swung on by Malvazio. 2-0 Senators trying to hold on to this season. need a win to force game 3 tomorrow. An ugly swing and a miss. Conrad, did he hit that one with his bat? They will talk about this. A very important call here. Malvazio says he tipped it. I would guess Anderson said nothing if he did because he just wants the call to go his way.
Well, Malvazio claiming that his bat had made a good amount of contact with that one. Well, not a good amount of contact, but had made some at least there.
It will be ruled that. Foul ball. Malvazio stays alive on the 1-2. What can he do with extra life given? Or I guess the fact that he hit the ball keeps him alive. Conrad from the over-the-head stance on the 1-2 now. 15 innings pitched this season. Missing outside. He had a big issue with hits against comparatively to walks, which was kind of his big issue. Is a pretty wide margin there. Only 1.6 whip, 8 hits and 6 walks given. 2-2. Foul backwards. This one right above the booth will sit above us, actually, somehow. I think got into a rain gutter.
It's a pretty cool stadium that we're here in Southern Maryland. It has kind of an old rustic feel to it, old rustic ballpark, and really a fun place to play a playoff game here in the Cal Ripken Senior League.
2-2 grounded, left side foul. So Malvazio keeping himself alive here. He has a tendency to be very aggressive. Doesn't have the discipline that he wanted to show this year, but he's kind of just hit the ball whenever he's gotten contact with it over the wall a lot. So 2-2 just outside. Neither Anderson or Conrad can believe it. And that discipline that he shows when he wants to, displayed here. 3-2 count after the 0-2 early. Well done by Malvazio, orchestrating a efficient list at bat. Skied in the air to center field. Big league pop-up. Shortstop Fulford after it. Out number 1.
1 of 3 down for the Senators to send this to a third and final game of the series. Big moment for both teams. Big Train want to end this series as quick as possible.
So every single RBI tonight, 4, 5, 6 for the Senators. The Big Train have not had a hit from their heart of their order at the 4, 5, and 6 position. They are 0-10 now collectively. Panette batting 5th. Trying to do something with this chance given. 0-1. Conrad misses outside again. Right-handed batter will be the first non-southpaw pitches that the Big Train see tonight. Right-handed pitcher, excuse me. The 0-1, 1-1, now 1-2.
Ball dragged foul and underneath bench area on the Southern Maryland Senators side.
Yeah, bullpen is kind of like the old Twin Stadium, the Metrodome. I'd say the Athletics, but there's far more foul territory in that stadium at Oakland. 1-2 and foul tip caught. 2 outs and the Big Train down to their final. One last opportunity for the all-star slugger Cal Johnson. Has led off a lot this season. They've tried to put him in that 4, 5, 6 area. Try and drive home more runs. His production has been a little slow as of late. Big Train need him to get something going here. First pitch in there. It's a hard fastball from Conrad.
It's a great pitch there from Conrad, attacking the zone on the first pitch. Grabs the top portion of it.
The upstairs fastball, trailed by one on the inside, and Johnson's under it. He's early. An 0-2 count. Big Train now down to their final strike. Conrad trying to slam the door. Outside. Very big opportunity here for the Senators to send this to Game 3 get a winner take all tomorrow. Outside again. That breaking ball not working as well as that fastball in the zone.
Well, if there was a day to force extra innings, it would be a day where you're in the 9th inning after 2 hours. Big Train would love to start that here.
2-2. Bit low, and we will have a payoff pitch for the status of the game. Good job by Johnson to work out of the 0-2 count. Did not get too defensive. Conrad, payoff. Swing and a foul ball backwards. Anderson is able to kind of hang on to that one, but all the noise sucked out of the building. Tension's very high as the Senators try and hang on.
Senators fans just waiting for one more strike.
Here comes the 3-2. Payoff, they'll dance again. And he'll walk. Cal Johnson, he'll pave the way for the tying run and some life for Bethesda. Can they keep things on the tracks for the Senators, or will the Big Train derail them?
Conrad might just feel a little bit of pressure now as the tying run is up to the plate. Kieran Coleman.
He is 1 for 2 tonight, a walk as well on his tally. Conrad, first pitch again in there. He's had 4 first pitch strikes. Gives him leeway to maybe try and dance around these hitters, make sure solid contact is not forced. You get behind an account, it can be really difficult.
That first pitch strike makes it so it doesn't have to push for the contact.
Ball missing a little high there, and mentioned that fastball is really important. Conrad got the first 3 hitters into an 0-2 count. The only one to get on was Cal Johnson there. 1-1. You might hear some noise of, I think, racing. Time attack in the CRCBL parking lot racing series happening again. Very loud cars. 1-2. Foul backwards, and Coleman keeping this ball game alive there.
Big Train coaching staff and fans holding their breath a little bit in this moment. Plenty of tension.
One, two, caught looking. He froze him to close the ball game. We'll see you tomorrow night at Shirley Povich Field. The Senators. Fantastic pitching appearances from Will Pettis and Conway out of the pen to pave the way. All the way home, 2 hours to Shirley Povich from here, and they will make that drive. 7 p.m. You can watch it here on the Big Train Baseball Network as the semifinals draw tide at 1.